Welcome back. You're watching India First. I'm Gaurav Sawant. We will talk about phase 2 of the special intensive revision of the electoral rolls, and the opposition is up in arms. So whether it's the TMC in Bengal or the DMK in Tamil Nadu, protests have started. We'll get to the latest on those protests. But there's a big story. Rahul Gandhi, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha's shocking remark from Kutumb in Bihar. Rahul Gandhi, the Congress party member of parliament and leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, he stirred a hornet's nest during a political rally just ahead of the first phase of elections. He said that the Indian army, like the judiciary, like the corporate sector, is under the control just of 10% of the country's population. And this is in reference to Rahul Gandhi raising the issue of caste, but he's roped in both the armed forces and the judiciary along with the corporate sector. So Rahul Gandhi was addressing a public gathering. He said, if you look closely, words to the effect, if you look closely, 90% of the country's population, they are Dalits, Mahadalits, backward, extremely backward, or from the minority community. He says that's 90% of the country. But these 90% are being controlled, according to Rahul Gandhi, by the top 10% in jobs, in everything from the judiciary to the army. The army, of course, has only one caste, one creed, one religion, which is India, which is Bharat, which is India first. But listening to Rahul Gandhi, I'll get you more on this story.
सारे के सारे 10% आबादी में से आते हैं। सारा बैंक का धन उनको जाता है, सारी नौकरियां उनको जाती हैं, ब्यूरोक्रेसी में उनको जगह मिलती है। आप जुडिशरी देखिए, वहां भी उनको सब मिलता है। सेना में उनका कंट्रोल है और 90% आपको जो आबादी है वो आपको कहीं नहीं मिलेगी। अब मेरा कहना है कि अगर हिंदुस्तान के 90% लोगों को हम शामिल नहीं करेंगे, चाहे वो कॉर्पोरेट इंडिया हो, चाहे वो जुडिशरी हो, चाहे वो ब्यूरोक्रेसी हो, अगर हम इनको नहीं शामिल करेंगे तो कैसा हिंदुस्तान बनेगा?
Now, why would he think that the armed forces do not have representation of the entire country? And that's so not true. The armed forces are represented by everyone without any distinction of caste, creed, sect, sex or religion, purely on merit. And these are people who you need to ensure that they're purely the best, because they are your last bastion, they're your defenders. They defend your country at the borders. And everyone does that, irrespective of whatever their caste or creed or sect or religion or sex may be. They just work as India first. Let me bring in my colleague Mosmi Singh, who joins us for more on this. And Mosmi's been reporting from Ground Zero in Bihar. Mosmi, yes, caste is a major factor in elections. Almost across the country, in Bihar, it's being talked about very extensively. But to bring in conversation of 90% and 10% and roping in the armed forces, is this going down a very dangerous and a very slippery slope, Mosmi?
Clearly, LOP Rahul Gandhi has launched a very targeted attack here, addressing a rally in Kutumba where he said that 90% are Dalits, Adivasis and the backward caste, but they are not represented anywhere. The marginalized are left on the brink, while the other 10% have control over the judiciary, and now he extended that attack to even the armed forces. He said that the privileges and all the luxuries are taken away by the 10% who govern the country, and thereby in Bihar, where caste politics is the mainstay, takes the center stage as far as poll issues are concerned. Rahul Gandhi there trying to draw a wedge into the extremely backward community, the other backward castes, in terms of trying to say that the government, the current government, whether it's in the state or at the center, is discriminating against the underprivileged, while the 10% of the upper caste are taking away all the cream. And very importantly, he said this earlier about the judiciary in the parliament, but this time round, he's taken that battle from the parliament to the political battleground of Bihar.
And roping in the armed forces must be extremely, extremely dangerous and going down a completely unwarranted and unwanted slippery slope. And do keep in mind, and I want our viewers to know that, one, as far as the Indian armed forces are concerned, merit, fitness, these are two things that are seen. And when it comes to making the supreme sacrifice of their lives for this country, from 1947 till date, religion does not matter. There are Mahavir Chakras, the second highest gallantry award that's been awarded, the Paramveer Chakra, the nation's highest gallantry award, posthumous, irrespective of caste, creed, sect. It's been awarded to the most deserving, meritorious, brave of our country. And perhaps when it comes to our armed forces, we must ensure it's merit first and India first, and no politics should be brought into this aspect. National security cannot be played around with as lightly as this. But we'll get you more on the story. I now want to shift focus to our other big story. Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee today took the battle over the special intensive revision of the electoral rolls to the streets of West Bengal, claiming this was silent, invisible rigging by the BJP. That's what she's alleged. The SIR process after Bihar has now started across 12 states and union territories across the country. And the opposition, whether it's the TMC in Bengal or DMK in Tamil Nadu, they're calling this process dilution of democracy. The BJP hit right back, accusing Mamata Banerjee of leading a Jamaat rally protecting Ghuspetias or infiltrators, from illegal Bangladeshis to Rohingyas. On India First, we get you all sides of this fiery face-off. But first, this report.
अगर एक भी आदमी का लोग नाम बात गया तो बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट तोड़ के छोड़ेंगे.
Politics explodes as India's voterless cleanup drive kicks off across 12 states and union territories. The Election Commission has billed it as a routine update. But on the ground, this is turning into an all-out political showdown. West Bengal Chief Minister hit the streets in Kolkata in a massive show of strength. The TMC accused the centre and Election Commission of plotting to strike off genuine voters, especially the poor, migrants and minorities.
আপনারা হাত তুলে বলুন সবাই দিল্লি যাওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত সবাই হাত তুলে বলুন আমার মতুয়া ভাইরা দিল্লি যাবেন যাবেন সবাই দিল্লি যাওয়ার জন্য প্রস্তুত হাত তুলুন বাংলার ক্ষমতা কি আমরা দেখাবো
বাংলা ভাষায় কথা বললে বাংলাদেশি হয় না যেমন হিন্দি ভাষায় কথা বললে সবাই পাকিস্তানি হয়ে যায় না বা উর্দু ভাষায় কথা বললে
The BJP fired back, calling today's march a Ghuspetia Bachao Yatra, and claimed Bengal's voter base has jumped 67% since 2001, alleging illegal infiltration propped up by the TMC.
It's not a political program. It's a program of Jamaat Michil led by Khala Mamata Banerjee. A particular community participated. The TMC, the Mamata Banerjee is trying to protect the Muslims, Bangladeshi Muslims.
But Bengal isn't alone. Down south, Tamil Nadu is heating up too. The DMK has moved the Supreme Court, calling the voter revision unconstitutional.
No, we are opposed to it. We are going to court, and our RS Bharati has filed a petition in the Supreme Court. Other parties will also file a. We want the direction from the court as to. We are not against SIR. But what had happened at Bihar has, we see that it is anti-people, anti-democratic. So we don't want such things to happen in Tamil Nadu.
On ground at an SIR camp in Ambattur, DMK and BJP cadres clashed over questions to officials. The meeting resumed, but the political battle clearly hasn't cooled. The SIR 2.0 cleanup is underway. The debate over clean lists or clean politics just getting started. Bureau Report, India Today.
So taking to the streets to protest the alleged dilution of democracy, or is this a Ghuspetia Bachao Andalan? The battle lines are very clearly drawn. Joining me on India First is Radhika Kheda, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tausif Ahmed Khan is an advocate, political analyst in sync with the TMC's thinking. Joins us on the show. Also with us is Salem, the Dharanidharan DMK spokesperson, and Mohammad Amin is former joint director of the Election Commission, to explain the process to us. And Tausif, let me begin by asking you, sir, why protest what is being described as a constitutional process to purify the electoral rolls? The BJP says Mamata Banerjee led a rally of the Jamaat, which they claim is a Ghuspetia Bachao rally protecting the illegal Bangladeshi vote banks, sir.
Gaurav, the government may claim whatever they want. They can say that it is the cleanup of the electoral roll and it's a constitutional process, but they had forgotten about it just before the parliamentary election. They started this process after the Mr. Modi became the prime minister. Right after that, they have started, and they started it with the non-BJP states. And in the background, we see BJP leaders openly saying that 1.2 crore voter names will be removed from Bengal and BJP will come to power. Definitely, they have some kind of mathematics. They must have prepared the draft voter list, and it seems that they will share that voter list with the EC. EC is being given a task to just put its stamp on it, so that in their own perception, BJP thinks that this is how they will come to power in Bengal. Please remember, in 2002, when the last SIR was conducted in Bengal, there was a good gap of 2 years before the next election was conducted. The election was conducted in 2004, and the SIR started in 2002. So there was a good gap of 2 years to make any correction. We have seen that if such a humongous task is carried out, obviously there's going to be a fault. There's going to be genuine voters whose name would be removed. And then there's an entire process through which the citizen's name can be included. It's a long process and it requires time. Yesterday only, a good more than 100 BLOs recruited by the Election Commission were protesting after the training camp. They said that this is an inhuman task. They cannot take the workload being put on them is inhuman, and it cannot be completed. There was a
fair enough. Let me bring in Radhika Kheda to respond. The TMC allegation, Radhika Kheda, is that this entire process one is politically motivated. The allegation is it is to target minorities and marginalized, and it's been curtailed to 1 month, what should have happened, as Tausif says, over a 2-year period. Also respond, madam, to the BJP alleging that there are serious irregularities in documents issued by the West Bengal government under the Duare Sarkar scheme. What are those alleged irregularities?
Good evening to everyone. Well, see, the only people who have a problem with this entire SIR process are those who are out on a Ghuspetia Bachao Andalan. And we saw that happening on the streets of West Bengal today. When a woman is raped in West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee goes on to say that it should not come out at night after 11 p.m. A chief minister who cannot protect the women of a state has openly come out to protect the Ghuspetias because those are her vote bank. She relies on those people for her vote. She relies on booth capturing for her vote, so, which is why she is rattled. Now, they own India Alliance partners in Bihar. Let's take an example from Bihar. Well, they own India Alliance partners. Not one official complaint from any of the booth agents that have been appointed by either Tejasvi's party or Congress party There is not one formal complaint. If the spokesperson of the TMC can show me one formal complaint by either of them that so and so name was removed and they could not be a voter in Bihar, they like the
Okay.
process has gone very smoothly. Some names which were, see, it's a human error if some names were cut, but they were re-added. And multiple journalists from various news channels have gone on to report, and people have said that there has been no problem that they have faced and their names have not been cut. I will repeat again, the only people who have a problem are the ones who are Ghuspetias and who are relying
Okay.
on the vote bank. Now, having said that, there was one more thing that the TMC spokesperson was saying, that why is it being done and there's very little time. There's enough time. Why are you worried? What is your worry exactly? Which votes are going to be cut? And we've seen that even in Jharkhand, when the alliance was fighting an election, the Congress leader Ghulam Ahmed Mir went on record to say that the 500 rupee cylinder that we will give will be also for the Bangladeshi people, the Rohingyas. Now they have themselves said that they want to give the 500 rupee cylinder, which are for the citizens of India,
Okay.
which are from the hard-earned money.
Let me
We are
bring
going
in-
to give out those from the people of India. Why should they
Let
give
me
it to
bring
the
in Salem
Rohingyas?
Dharnidharan for a perspective from Tamil Nadu. Why is the DMK opposed to the revision of the electoral rolls, sir? This process, TMC also describes as being rushed through in an unreasonably short period. If the election commission says there is a month's time that's given, if there's an objection, raise that objection, it will be addressed. And there are multiple tiers to it.
See, very simple. Firstly and foremost, I think you made a point saying it's there in the constitution. If this is there in the constitution, then why is this the census not done? India is the only country that has not done its census. Right, the census is pending for the last 4 years. Why? That's preposterous. Right, census exercise should have been started in 2009 and finished by 2021. You haven't done it. And first, that's the first point. And second, does the institution have the credibility? That's the whole point, right? It has so happened that the first time ever that 2 election commissions had to resign and India had to operate only with 1 election commission before the 2024 elections. And even during the 2024 elections, number of polled and votes counted in 150 parliamentary constituencies were not equal. In fact, the election commission gave the percentage of vote that was casted, but never gave the number of people who voted. It's very obvious. It's very simple calculation. Right? If you give the percentage, it's very simple to give the number of number of votes polled also. They didn't do that. In fact, a lot of think tanks, including them, has spoken about institutional bias in India and has degraded India from democracy to an electoral autocracy.
Sir, VDM itself has major issues, and those issues with VDM has been pointed out, and a lot of these foreign agencies, only certain elements in our country take them seriously, despite a lot of inaccuracies in their reporting, sir. But that's a separate debate for another time. We've had it on India Today. I want to bring in Mohammed Amin on some of the points
I think you're not letting me speak, bro.
And I'm letting you speak, but I will, I am surprised you would quote VDM and
See, I think it's very unfortunate that if something that benefits the BJP party, then you quote the foreign magazine, right? But if it doesn't show BJP in a good light, then it's a foreign institution.
VDM is targeting not BJP, but India as a country. India belongs to you and I. BJP is not India.
That's the problem. We stand for India, but we don't stand for BJP. That's the difference. Right? I like India more than you.
Learn to make that distinction, because I said VDM targets India as a democracy. You should make that distinction. Fair enough. You may have a point of view. You may have a point of view. Let me bring in Mohammed Amin.
Non-partisan manner. He's the country.
Okay, you are saying election commission is non-partisan, Mr. Amin.
If you give me 5 minutes, I'll explain. I can explain.
Okay, let me bring in. Sir, we have to keep this conversational. Mr. Amin, as a former joint director of the Election Commission, your assessment of the points that are being raised by the objection. One, is the process politically motivated? Is it being rushed through? And, DMK says Election Commission is biased. You agree, sir?
Mr. Gaurav, the Election Commission is constituted after the independence, and 1952 started till date. The Election Commission is doing fairly election, free, fair poll in country. For assemblies, parliament, there is no problem for everyone. But nowadays we see, after the formation of the BJP government, every time they are criticizing to the Election Commission of India. SIR process is a regular process. Earlier also, 2002, 2003, 2004. And this is we can say the purification of the system of the voter list. So that's why we are going to purify the voter list. So why they have the hue and cry? This is the regular. And I'm giving the example, like the voting caste, we have the polling agents for all parties in all places, assembly and parliament. And the same thing happen you can find in case of the counting. They are called counting agents. This time, the election commission has given the free or fair voter list to be prepared with the help of our stakeholders. Means our BLO is going to door, and their BLAs for all party BLAs are going to assist them. If they have any problem, they can guide them. They can help them. Otherwise, they can complain to the BLOs, to the AERO. And AERO and BLOs both are complained by the public to the CEO, means Chief Electoral Officer. If they have
So you're
any
saying there are multiple tiers of grievance redressal, but Tausif had raised a point that BLOs are complaining. Too much work is being given to them. It's inhuman. They will not be able to do it. Respond to that point, sir.
No. BLOs are assisted by their BLAs for all parties. So where is the problem for the opposition? All their persons are there along with the BLOs. So nothing will be happening wrong or added in the list. Purely this will going on. You see, this time the voter ID card, clear cut, colored pictures, digital, their correct names, their date of birth, their place of where they are residing. So these are the things are important digitally, and everything is done by the election commission. So why you have the problem? They are assisted by their BLS.
So, Tausif, is there merit in the Bengal BJP chief saying that there's anarchy and lawlessness now in Bihar? TMC is only trying to ensure that it's Bangladeshi and Rohingya voters, the illegal voters, remain in the electoral list, and that is why they're spreading lies about loss of life due to SIR fears. Response, sir.
Gaurav, I will respond to that. But firstly, Honorable Joint Director, former Joint Director of EC, perhaps is not aware of the fact that I said in Malda district, more than 100 BLOs recruited or undergoing training in the BDO office. They protested yesterday and they said that it is a humongous task, it's an inhuman task, and they were overloaded with work and it is not possible for them to do it. Now, he needs to respond to that. Secondly, the point that you raised, you see, this political leader, Suvendu Adhikari, he every now and then says that we will throw away all Muslims, and then after purposely saying Muslim, he then qualifies it with Rohingya and Bangladeshi. Then he says that more than 1.2 crore voters' name will be removed. BJP MP Shantanu Thakur from Bengal, he on record said in a meeting that 1.2 crore voters' name will be removed from Bengal and we will win the election. So who is preparing the voter list? Who knows? It is being
Can I please
as
respond?
it is, as it seems.
Yes.
The BJP is preparing the voter list in which constituency,
That's
how
a
many
grave
votes have to
charge,
remove
sir.
so that they
That's
can
a
win the
grave charge.
election. Because there's a small
Radhika
margin.
Kheda, respond. Is the election commission preparing it? How does the BJP know that 1.2 crore voters will be removed? And when leaders like Dilip Ghosh allege that there is a change in demographic profile in Bengal, opposition says that's failure of the BJP, it's failure of the Home Ministry, it's the job of the Border Security Force to check infiltration.
There are multiple questions that I need to address here. The DMK spokesperson said, why was the census not conducted? Sir, you remember, the whole world was facing COVID, which was why when the census was supposed to be held, it was postponed and it's going to happen next
3
year.
years now since COVID.
I did not speak over you. Let me complete. So there is a time you have to come out of COVID. There were so many things that the country had to get back on track to. When you were shut down because of COVID, so many things went into backlog. Everything had to get back on track. The economy had to go back on track. You needed new people. Everything had to be done. So that took time. And the census is going to take place next year. And let me also remind you, the SIR last time also took place under the Bharatiya Janata Party government. Whenever the UPA or your alliance government comes into power, you only concentrate on doing scams and scandals and getting the Rohingyas and the unfiltered people into the country, which is why they need to be cleared, which is why when the last SIR was conducted was under the BJP NDA government, and then you had the government for 10 years, and God knows how many Rohingyas you got into the country, how many infiltrators you got into the country, which need to be cleared. Secondly, he was talking about how our election commission is compromised. Well, obviously they will talk about the election commission being compromised because they have these people to look up to. K. Sundaram, Nagendra Singh, R.K. Trivedi, V.S. Ramadev,
Okay,
P.N.
we are-
Seshan, M.S. Gill and M.S. Gopalaswamy. And how can we forget
Okay.
Naveen Chawla? So they will think that they're
So,
compromised. And also, can I just get 10
okay,
seconds? The
so
TMC
yes, without
spokesperson-
naming names who are not here to defend themselves is my only submission. Go on,
Yeah,
because
but
India
K.
today
Sundaram was given
you
the
know,
Padma Vibhushan. Nagendra Singh was given
sure.
the Padma Vibhushan. They were
That
made
does
governors.
not
They
indicate
contested from Congress
it's
tickets.
that could be okay. That's your allegation.
How
Go
can-
on, ma'am. Complete your point. Complete your point, ma'am.
And when you're talking about, let's come back to TMC. Now, as soon as the SIR was declared, the TMC leaders came out and threatened that they're going to kill the election commission people. There's going to be bloodshed in West Bengal, to the extent that the TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee has gone on to threaten to kill Sukanto Majumdar and Suvindu Adhikari ji if they come without CISF security. What are they afraid of? And I am telling you something very honestly, Gaurav. If someone is afraid, I do not believe that people should take their own lives, but this drama that the TMC is doing, that someone is getting scared and killing themselves and trying to put that blame of their own lapses and of their own insecurities and saying that this is happening because of the SIR, why will anyone be scared to show their papers? If they are citizens of India, if you are a citizen of India, Gaurav, will you be scared to show your documents and papers? Why will you kill yourself if you're just being asked for your documents? It's a normal process.
Salem
Nobody's throwing anyone out.
Okay.
Yes, I'm coming.
Election Commission says there is a window. There is a window available from the 9th of December to the 8th of January. Submit any claims or objections that you may have. Election Commission says it's a very transparent promise and a process. The real voters will not be deleted. Those who have died or migrated permanently, or those who may be voters in two places, only they are being removed from the electoral rolls from one place. Now, is the objection only political? Because BLAs, as Mr. Amin said, BLAs of your party, for example, if a name is being wrongly deleted, bring facts, have it added to the list, sir.
Unfortunately, I think I should be given more time. The BJP spokesperson
Go on,
a lot
sir.
of time. And
Go
I
on,
think
sir.
instead of asking me a question, you went on a monologue again. I don't know. Firstly and foremost, but the BJP spokesperson answered my question. She said, we didn't do the census because we had other things to do after COVID. But then you want to modify the rules, right? And delete voters who are not going to vote for you. What happened in Bihar? See, I stopped. I did not intervene when you spoke, right? What happened in Bihar?
Did.
Go on, sir.
More number of women voters were deleted. More number of
only Mr. Dharnidharan. Only Mr. Dharnidharan.
More number of Dalit voters were deleted, right? More minorities were deleted. So why is this clustering of minorities? Why are those who do not have, rather who needs to be represented, are not given a chance to vote? So they were the ones who were excluded. My party stance is that if you want to clean the rolls, first do the census. After the census, take a year's time and do this. Without doing this, exercise is futile, right? Because a census takes 2-3 years. How will you do this electoral rolls cleaning in 1 month? The 8.4 crore people, bigger than France, bigger than UK. The country is. So how will you do in Tamil Nadu in 1 month when you need 2 years to do census? Right? When census takes 2 years, how is it possible?
Sir, you didn't answer my very specific question that I asked you about why would the DMK not help in case a correct name is being deleted, and why would the DMK not want wrong names to be removed from there? But Mr. Amin, respond.
No, you're not
first census.
See,
sir, I did, but time is of a premium. But Mr. Amin, the last 30 seconds that I have on the show. Mr. Amin, the last 30 seconds I have on the show, is there merit in the DMK spokesperson saying first census and then SIR? Is there a correlation, or SIR can happen independently of the census?
SIR has an independent role and independent doing their job, and they are not mixing for anything. Just they are having the charge that they are, they are having the challenge of the nationalship. So the nationship is no problem for that election commission. Election commission worry about their voter list only. We want the good and fine and correct voter list for next poll.
Fair enough. I will let that be the last word, but this debate clearly will escalate in times to come. I've run out of time on this part of the show.